Okay, just bought a pullback here. We have 7 bars without a pullback. Pretty strong rally up. We're in a trading range, but I feel like we have to go sideways here at least a little bit. So I bought at the bottom of this tail, looking for a quick test up. So I bought 2 shares here, looking for 50 cents. Obviously, if we get consecutive bear bars, 3 or 4 consecutive bear bars, I'll look to exit. But I think we have to go sideways first. That's a decent close on that bar. I think it increases the chances I get to my target. Had it closed below this tail, I may have looked to get out break even, but because of the weak close, I think it's okay to stay in. It got right to my target, but didn't fill me. So just got out there, 94 cents. We're still high in a trading range, so up here I'm still going to look for some sells. So if I find something, I'll start recording again. I have an order to buy a pullback here. Instead of buying 2 shares, I'm buying 1 share at this tail and then another share around a 50% pullback. So I didn't know if we would get down to 50% pullback. So instead of buying 2 shares right up here, I just split them up. So if I don't get filled on the second order, that's okay. My target's 50 cents up. So if I get filled on both, then I'll have 2 shares, and then 50 cents up would mean $1 profit. If I don't get filled on the second entry, then I just have 1 share, and the target is the same. Okay, got filled on both. So my thought is that we're going to get a higher low. So now I'm going to move my target a little bit. It's approximately the same, just 50 cents above my average price. So my average is 260.70. So it'll be at 20. That's a pretty strong close. Not sure. Stronger than I would have liked. I might use a closer target. I'll just see how this bar looks. Okay, I decided to just exit at my first entry. I don't know if that's the right decision, but it just felt like it was stronger than I would have liked. I'm not sure. It wasn't really a clean scale in, so it wasn't like I bought here and then bought 50 cents lower. I just split my one order into 2 different spots just because I wanted to buy the low of this bar and I also wanted to buy a 50% pullback, so I just split them up. So it wasn't a true scale in where it would make sense to exit at my first position. So I wouldn't consider this a winning trade. It was just kind of like a exiting because the next bar didn't look how I wanted it to. It still finished with 20 cents, about 20 cents. So still okay. It's just I feel like I could have managed this better. Yeah, I don't know what happens from here, but I think I could have done better on this. I could have bought a bit lower instead of just doing the tail here and then 50%. I could have done the tail and then this tail because that's a pullback on a lower time frame right here on the 1-minute chart. I could have done that. It's just I don't know. That's actually the first time I've done that. Split up an order into 2 right next to each other. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing, so I'm not sure. Looks like we were just about to get to my target, so that would have been a pretty good trade had I stayed in. So I'll have to see. Like, this is just another data point. I mentioned that before. I'll have to see if this kind of bar actually warrants getting out early or if I should have just stayed in. And right now it looks like I should have stayed in, but I'll have to see this multiple times to know if it's a valid early exit or not. I just realized that I made a mistake on my orders. So I bought twice and then I looked up here for my average bought and it said 260.70. And then I assumed that meant 259.70 because I knew 260 was up here. So I looked at 70 and then said, okay, 50 cent profit means I'm looking for 20, 260.20, which is 50 cents more than 70. And then I checked again and I realized that after my trade was done, I realized that this is the average of all 4 of my entries, so including my first trade of the day. The reason I looked up is because I was wondering if I would have been able to get out at my original target. And I realized that this tail only went up as high as 260.18, and my target was at 260.20. But then when I looked at the average, it didn't make sense. So based on my average, my target should have been at 260.09, which would have been filled. So had I stayed in, I would have made a full profit on it. So then I looked up on the Interactive Brokers website, and it turns out I can add something that will split up the legs into individual trades. So if I go to trade summary, combos, add. So now this shows the combined trade of the day. But when I have a trade on, if I click this, I think it's if I click it, it'll show me the individual trades. So that will allow me to be more accurate when picking targets and entries and stuff. So and it didn't really cost me that much on this trade, but it's a good thing that I noticed it today. So now I know for sure that I can see what my average price is for an individual trade and not just combining all trades of the day.